About a year ago, I started noticing something wasn't quite right with my body. I was exhausted all the time. My muscles hurt constantly, headaches turning into migraines. And no matter how much sleep I got, it didn't seem to help. Like many women in midlife, I just assumed it was stress or hormones that were out of balance. But eventually, I learned something surprising. It wasn't just normal aging, it was fibromyalgia. Hi, Blooming Beauties. I'm Lori, a mental health therapist and fellow midlife survivor. And this is Balance and Bloom, a space where we can talk honestly about midlife, mental wellness, and the changes our bodies go through as we get older. If you've been experiencing symptoms like extreme fatigue, body pain, migraines, brain fog, or sleep problems in midlife, you might be wondering what's happening in your body. Today, I want to talk about fibromyalgia, what it actually is, the symptoms many people experience, how doctors diagnose it, and what treatment options are available. Because when your body suddenly feels different, it can be confusing and sometimes even scary. So, what exactly is fibromyalgia? Let's talk about it. Fibromyalgia is often misunderstood. Many people think it's simply a condition that causes chronic pain, but it's actually much more complex than that. Researchers now understand fibromyalgia as a nervous system disorder that affects how the brain and spinal cord process pain signals. In people with fibromyalgia, the nervous system becomes overly sensitive. Signals that normally wouldn't be interpreted as painful can start to feel much stronger or more intense than they should. This process is sometimes called central sensitization, which means the brain becomes more reactive to stimulation over time. Instead of the body calming down after stress or physical strain, the nervous system stays in a heightened state of alert. The brain continues to amplify pain signals, even when there isn't an obvious injury causing them. Because fibromyalgia involves the way the brain processes pain, rather than damage to muscles or joints, it can sometimes be difficult to understand or diagnose at first. And that's why many people spend years trying to figure out what's happening in their body before they finally hear the word fibromyalgia. Okay, this is where things can start to feel really frustrating because the symptoms can be all over the place. Fibromyalgia symptoms can vary from person to person, but there are some patterns that many people experience, and they tend to fall into three main categories: physical symptoms, neurological symptoms, and mental health symptoms. The first are the physical symptoms. Many people experience persistent fatigue, the kind of exhaustion that sleep doesn't seem to fix. There's also widespread body pain, especially in areas like the neck, shoulders, back, and hips. Some people notice joint pain, muscle tenderness, stiffness, headaches, or even migraines. Then there are the neurological symptoms. This is where something many people call fibro fog comes in. Difficulty concentrating, memory issues, and that feeling like your brain isn't firing on all cylinders. Many people also experience sensory sensitivity, meaning things like loud noises, bright lights, or even being touched can feel overwhelming or uncomfortable. Sleep disturbances are also very common. Many people wake up multiple times during the night or wake up feeling like their sleep was never really restorative. And finally, fibromyalgia can also affect mental health. Living with chronic pain and constant fatigue can increase feelings of anxiety, irritability, emotional overwhelm, or feeling overstimulated. Because these symptoms overlap with so many other conditions, Fibromyalgia can sometimes take years for people to fully understand what's happening in their bodies or receive a diagnosis. Fibromyalgia can be challenging to diagnose because there isn't a single test that confirms it. Unlike many other conditions, fibromyalgia doesn't show up clearly on blood tests or imaging scans. Instead, doctors usually diagnose fibromyalgia by looking at patterns of symptoms and ruling out other conditions that could be causing similar problems. For example, doctors might run tests to check for autoimmune diseases, thyroid issues, or inflammatory conditions. If those tests come back normal, but someone continues experiencing widespread pain, fatigue, sleep disturbances, and cognitive symptoms for several months, fibromyalgia might be considered. In the past, doctors sometimes used something called tender point testing, where they would check specific areas of the body for pain. Today, diagnosis is usually based more on a combination of symptoms and how long those symptoms have been present. Because of this process, many people spend years searching for answers before finally receiving a diagnosis. Treating fibromyalgia can be challenging because it affects the nervous system. But the good news is that there are many ways to manage symptoms and improve quality of life. Treatment usually focuses on calming the nervous system and reducing the body's stress response. Some doctors prescribe medications that can help regulate pain signals or improve sleep. For some people, these medications can make a meaningful difference in managing symptoms. In fact, medications called SNRIs, or serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitors, which are sometimes used to treat depression or anxiety, are often prescribed for fibromyalgia because they affect how the brain processes pain signals. This can help reduce pain intensity and improve overall functioning for some people. Lifestyle approaches can also play an important role. Gentle movement like walking or stretching or low-impact exercise can help support the body without overloading it. Sleep is another important piece. Creating consistent sleep routines and focusing on good sleep habits can sometimes help reduce flare-ups. Many people also explore physical therapy, stress management techniques, and certain supplements that support nervous system health. For example, magnesium glycinate is something that many people with fibromyalgia find helpful. I've actually started taking it recently, and for me, it's been a bit of a lifesaver. If you'd like, I can make another video talking about magnesium and how it supports the nervous system. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know in the comments. Because fibromyalgia affects everyone differently, treatment often involves finding the right combination of approaches that work best for your body. Living with fibromyalgia can be incredibly challenging, especially when the symptoms are confusing or difficult for others to understand. But if you've been experiencing these kind of symptoms in midlife, please know that you're not alone and your experience is valid. Understanding what's happening in your body is often the first step toward finding support and treatment that works best for you. If this video helped you to better understand fibromyalgia, I'd love for you to subscribe to Balance and Bloom, where we talk about midlife health, mental wellness, and learning to support our bodies through the changes that come with this stage of life. And if you're comfortable sharing, let me know in the comments what symptom first made you realize something wasn't quite right. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Balance and Bloom. Goodbye, Blooming Beauties. If you're interested in learning more ways to support your nervous system through natural remedies and therapeutic approaches, be sure to check out one of the videos right here. On this channel, we talk a lot about midlife health, mental wellness, and ways to help your body feel better as you move through this stage of life. So go ahead and click one of these videos. I'll see you there.